Hello, hello, hello. So glad to talk to you again. Over the weekend, you guys did send me quite a list of questions. So I'm going to do my best. I stole an hour here. So I really I love you guys. You guys are really getting it on. You're getting these, really understanding what's going on here. And I really like that. It actually makes my job easier to have you knowledged up. It really does. It's just a great thing. So, blessings to you all there. Thank you for your questions. I haven't gone over them too much, but since I stole an hour here, I'm going to start reading them. I'm going to go over them, so forgive me that I'm doing it kind of instead of doing it ahead of time. This is Leo from Hong Kong, and he's asking me about Alzheimer's. You know, anytime you deal with Alzheimer's, you deal with dementia, anything that deals with the central nervous system, the brain, the hard drive. What are we dealing with? Bunch of cells, right? Doesn't matter whether you're dealing with serotonins, neurotransmitters, doesn't matter. Because what you want to think of is cells and the health of those cells. If you keep it that simple, you want to reach the cell because the cell makes up everything, including every part of the brain. And you want to think about the two fluids that touch the health of these cells. And so you're going to go back to that understanding that all the body is a bunch of cells with two major fluids handling the health of these cells. And that 3/4 of these interstitial fluids, these fluids that flow around the cells, is predominantly lymph. So whether some cells have less or more, I don't care. The bottom line is that when you see the breakdown of cells and the breakdown of communication and the breakdown of your communication, you're looking at the acid side of chemistry, generally speaking, and you're looking at the lymph system, generally speaking. The lymph system can lead to calcifications. It can lead to the weakness of vascular walls and the collapsing or spasm of vascular walls. It can lead to cholesterol. As the body's effort to fight these acids, that effort can also yield some side effects that are not wanted, particularly long-term, because man was not supposed to follow this type of diet. Now, that said, I can also say that everything is the way it should be, and that's the way it is. And I can't make a judgment, man should have or shouldn't, because he did. So, bottom line is, man got away from this, and I think it's the immaturity of the human consciousness, and this process of health or dis-ease is a process of growth of consciousness, because those souls have to learn how to regenerate, how to get the God power going back into the body, let alone their own consciousness. But how do I get that God power back to those cells again? Or call it nutrition, call it physics or energetics, call it energy, consciousness. It doesn't matter. It's all God. How do I turn that cell back on? How do I get that cell repaired, rebuilt, remembered genetically? How do I do that? And that's going to lead you right back into what most of you are already doing, the raw foods. Who cares if someone has a little meat once in a while? You know, perfection, you kind of set that to the side because that breeds ego a little bit. So just tear into this. Yeah, to get to these higher levels like Alzheimer's, dementia, MS, Lou Gehrig's. I mean, just look at these clients and you want to be way up there. And the problem with Alzheimer's is you've got the elderly and you've got the forgetfulness. I took care of my grandmother for several years with Alzheimer's, and I'm very aware of it. My significant other ran an Alzheimer's unit, even though she's a cardiac nurse. She ran an Alzheimer's unit for a number of years, and pretty heart-ripping when you see what humans are reduced to. But it's dis-ease. It is obstructions from the lack of eating properly. It's the lack of understanding of health. It's not their fault. It's the human consciousness and what it sold itself out for. A little bit of money, a little bit of this. So you have all these big groups that are sue somebody like Oprah, the Cattlemen's Association, sued her. I'd like to see them prove where protein from dead animals are healthy for anybody. You know, it's this sort of thing, you know, these macho, egotistical, narcissistic people who want to make money off of you, whether it kills you or not. I thought it was interesting to see the pharmaceuticals, especially the chemo drugs, they're running low on them. Now, I wonder who created this. Oh, because there wasn't a profit margin enough on these low-end chemicals that kill people. And look at the scare. Look at the scare because pharmaceuticals are not producing enough pills. I have to laugh at the ridiculousness of this whole thing about pharmaceuticals and their medications. It's like man's addicted and needs it. Chemo, oh, we're not going to kill as many people now because we don't have the drugs. It is a proven fact. Chemo kills. A proven fact. And yet, we got to have those chemo drugs. I mean, this whole thing is way out of balance. And so those people that survive are going to be you guys. And those people that are willing to grow consciously and open up to a much greater experience in life. For the other ones, they're going to terminate their bodies and go on and maybe reincarnate and learn the next lifetime, whatever. So, anyway, let me go on with this Alzheimer's. I would definitely go after the common, what would you guys do? We do the 2 kidneys, right? We would do definitely 2 lymphatics. Now, you would want to do lymphatic 4 maybe to start out with, and lymphatic 1 capsules, get into that bowel, clean up the bowel, because I can tell you this transverse portion of your colon controls the brain. You always want to clean up the bowels. Remember Jensen, N.W. Walker, especially Jensen, who knew the iris, and he wrapped the embryo around the iris and pointed to the embryonic trunk as the gut tissue and how it related to the brain and how it relates to all the other organs and glands. So you always clean up the bowels, you always get the kidneys and, of course, the adrenals that control them back online. But you want to get up in here. That's why the brain and nerve, upper circulation, push that blood. At the same time, you got to move lymph. Leo, you got to move their lymph systems because this is going to breed occlusions of calcifications or cholesterol. And the withdrawal of blood, of course, ischemia, is not going to be a good thing for cells either. That's what terminates them a little faster. But always lymph, move their lymph systems. When they're elderly like that, a bit of a trip to put them on a real powerful diet like this with the raw. Now, some can do it, some can't. I've had all levels. We pulled them out of nursing homes and then not so. So it's all levels about whether you can control that, the dietary source, and control the person and all that other thing, because you can get all levels of Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's has all types of levels to it that some is just really tearful. It's just sad to see like that. Personally, I would rather have the green pill, you know, termination pill, because life isn't life anymore. And like that's trapping me here as soul. But people are not taught that. I was talking to a lady this morning, and she watches the YouTube. Got a lot of cancer in her, and she's scared of dying. And I'm saying, honey, don't be scared of dying. Rejoice if you get off of this planet. This is a hellhole right now. But we can make it better. And we can be better ourselves. You must live in the heavens. Let the earth and everybody do what they're going to do, but you must learn to be in the heavens. And never fear death. If you're not dying, nothing dies. Remember we talked about that before, and you can't kill anything. It only appears that. This is the illusionary world. This is the appearance of drama and the play and the actors on the stage. You know, but you can't kill consciousness. You can't kill yourself. You'll just move and take on another form or use another form to experience different things. So you can't kill yourself. But this is what I'm saying. There's a lot of fear in people about death, and we have to learn to grow consciously and to appreciate who we are beyond the bodies. But if you want to be here, you got to get strict and moving your lymph systems. And this lady this morning, she's definitely going to work on her lymph system. No one helped her. No one told her. They gave her chemo. So, you know, this is the problem, and this is what you see all the time. This redundant killing machine that needs to grow up and change or be, you know, I invite most of you, state attorney generals out there to start prosecuting these medical doctors that are using chemo. Understand what chemo is. It's battery acid in nursing. The cliche of all cliches in nursing is battery acid. Chemo's battery? I said, well, it's or they call it Drano. Let's put it that way. Drano is the classic name for chemo. Well, yeah, I mean, a pH of 1.5 up. So, work on, if this is your parents or whatever, Leo, you work on them, do your best you can, but raw, and this is a lot of fruits, berries, and melons. That's really the key for neurological central nervous system problems and stuff like this. Really important that you do that route. And use the herbs, upper circ, brain and nerve, at least on mine. If you're using others, get herbs for the brain, turning on, rebuilding, more oxygenation of the brain cells, things like that. Let me see here. Do you know what I can do for depersonalization, anxiety, and OCD? Yeah, I mean, this is a case where you want to work on your adrenals, you know. The problem we face today is just the level of adrenal weakness. And I think of these kids that are going off to these Iraq and Afghanistan and things, and these kids are already weak in the adrenals, and they're doing 3 and 4 and 5 tours. In Nam, you only did 1. If somebody bellied up and did 2, you thought they were, you know, these guys were they were insane. So I look at this and I think these kids, oh my God. So you have to strengthen your adrenal glands, which will strengthen your emotions, and get into yourself. I did a video on this the other day, and really get into yourself, get strong in yourself, throw all these images out, put them in their right places, put them outside of yourself, and realize this is a warring universe. I don't care what anybody says. This is one of the most negative universes I've been in. I've been into some real negative astral prisons that scared me to my core. But I figured those were for IRS agents and judges who. But anyway, this is a warring universe. So you've got to get strong. To get strong emotionally, you must have good adrenal glands. So work on those. Work on the kidneys, of course. That'll move your lymph system and make the rest of the body strong there. Black salve. If a person has skin cancer and wants to do both grapes, lemons, and black salve, yeah. I mean, Indiana, huh? Indiana banana. Indiana banana. Indiana. I've heard of that state before. I think it was one I was born in. But anyway, Indiana Jones, Indiana banana. I like that. I recommend the black salve. Now, the FDA, those guys, another bunch of guys that need to go to jail. I mean, come on, guys. We're people. We have a constitutional right to have freedom and to be able to pick our herbs and use our salves and do whatever we want to heal ourselves. We don't have a right to be monopolized by pharmaceutical companies that are using toxic chemicals to hurt us, and you allow that. So forgive me, but I'm a little rambunctious today about stuff like that. We just got a call from Sweden, the poor guy. He can't get herbs into Sweden because they wanted to sign on with the European Union. That's okay, but then they wanted to sign on to the Codex, and it's like, okay, you just limited your people's rights and freedoms to have God and nature in their hands, and so their ability to get well. You know, some of these governments, I don't know what, you know, they're brainwashed, and I blame the medical community for this. You know, lying. Making people think they're the smartest people on the planet. I just talked to a lady just now, and her endocrinologist, my God, this guy must have been looking out the window. I mean, come on, endocrinologist, man, you got to know your glands better than you do. It's amazing out there. But yeah, black salves, you want to use that. Pop those things right up. But remember, Indiana Jones, Indiana banana. I like that. I recommend the black salve. Now, the FDA, those guys, another bunch of guys that need to go to jail. I mean, come on, guys. We're people. We have a constitutional right to have freedom and to be able to pick our herbs and use our salves and do whatever we want to heal ourselves. We don't have a right to be monopolized by pharmaceutical companies that are using toxic chemicals to hurt us, and you allow that. So forgive me, but I'm a little rambunctious today about stuff like that. We just got a call from Sweden, the poor guy. He can't get herbs into Sweden because they wanted to sign on with the European Union. That's okay, but then they wanted to sign on to the Codex, and it's like, okay, you just limited your people's rights and freedoms to have God and nature in their hands, and so their ability to get well. You know, some of these governments, I don't know what, you know, they're brainwashed, and I blame the medical community for this. You know, lying, making people think they're the smartest people on the planet. I just talked to a lady just now, and her endocrinologist, my God, this guy must have been looking out the window. I mean, come on, endocrinologist, man, you got to know your glands better than you do. It's amazing out there. But yeah, black salves, you want to use that. Pop those things right up. But remember, if you're forming skin cancer, this is your lymph system, and it means subcutaneously under the epidermis dermis here, you've got heavy lymph problems. Your lymph nodes are probably backed up in the body, and you're not filtering through your kidneys. So you really want to get to your kidneys and start filtering better, get to those adrenal glands, and also remedy that problem that way. But in the meantime, if you got a basal cell or whatever, pop that off with some black salve. There are many sources out there of it, and use that, and use the herbs, use the diet, yeah, with that. I always like to take skin cancer off. That way it's easier for the body. But keep digging into your lymph system. It's really key to do this. You can use the skin formula too. It's really a cleanser too. Get yourself sweating, but not with infrared. Liable to create more basals. You have to be careful with that. So another question was, this is Paul U2. Paul U2, what are your views on asthma, causes, and overcoming it? What effects do cough syrup? Oh my God. Becantide have on lungs over time, and Ventolin inhalers. Root cause of anxiety and panic attacks. Okay, so I went over this before with the root cause of anxieties and panic attacks. This is the adrenal glands. Now, the adrenal glands controls what nervous system? That's right, the autonomic nervous system. What nervous system controls breathing? Right, the autonomic nervous system. This is the involuntary nervous system. This is your adrenal glands. Asthma is always an adrenal gland weakness with an associated myelin sheath weakness, with an autonomic nerve weakness. It can be tied into your stomach and solar plexus as well. This is where the nerve ganglia is. So you can also have GI tract problems with this. But I can tell you also you have weak adrenal glands. And the key catch here was your anxieties. That and asthma, they go together because, again, this is the autonomic nervous system. So you can use brain and nerve to strengthen that up. I would use an antispasmodic. I've seen article after article written of the cancer-causing effects of inhalers. And that's because even though they're bronchodilators, they suppress expectoration. This is why you can use an herbal antispasmodic. I use our herbal antispasmodic as a bronchodilator because it relaxes the nervous system, but it doesn't block expectoration of congestion that's built up in the lungs. You have two problems: congestion in the lung tissue and the interstitial levels of the lungs, but you also have a neurological weakness that controls the breathing and the tightness that the lungs get. Actually, a nebulizing treatment would be far better than using inhalers. They are definitely cancer-causing, according to many, many studies out there. And we've seen that here as well. So I would use an antispasmodic to relax your lungs. Pop up on those adrenals, though. Hit those adrenals. You could use desiccated adrenal gland from Standard Process if you wanted, or you could use an herbal adrenal gland with licorice to bring up your blood pressure and things. Get your kidneys and move that lymph system, man, and you'll pull yourself out of this. You might even have excessive neurotoxins if you have excessive anxieties, but I can tell you that the younger you are, I don't know how young you are, Paul, but the younger you are, the weaker you're going to see your adrenal glands. This is just, and the lower the blood pressures and the weaker the autonomic nervous systems. So neurotoxins can exacerbate these problems. Make sure you're free of all deodorizers and perfumes and colognes and all this stuff. Get away from all what you could perceive as neurotoxins. and you'll be all right. If you've got a cough and you're not productive, it's because the inhalers are blocking that. You want expectoration. Be better to get Mucinex. Mucinex, even though a pharmaceutical, at least they're touting it as an expectorant, and I ask people that have been using it, and they do get expectoration with it. So possible, but you'd use our lung formula, lungs number 1 or 2. 2 is a better expectorant, I think, but you would use the lung formula to help expectorate. You would use an antispasmodic to relax and bronchial dilate, and then you get into the adrenals to strengthen the autonomic, which in turn will strengthen the nervous system to the lungs, but also strengthen your emotions. Get your kidneys moving, and you'll start moving that lymph system, and you'll be good. Yeah. See how easy that is? There's a lot of people with asthma out there, a lot of the kids, a lot of neurological weaknesses in the kids. So just realize that's tied to the adrenal glands there. The female bear in the article was horribly tortured. Yeah, that makes you want to throw up, don't it? I tell you what, I don't even like to read you telling me about this. It's just horrible. I look at the animals and I look at the research and I hear the government always saying we need money for research. For what? For what? New drugs that kill people? I mean, for what? The answers are already here. You know, the money we spend and the ridiculousness of the pockets we line. You know, this is true with cancer research. This is just such a bunch of crap. I mean, these pharmaceutical companies know what they're doing. They already know what causes this. They're not stupid. I can tell when I saw the Lipitor commercial that SmithKline knew what they were talking about when they put the cholesterol in the artery wall, not on it. And why Crestor, they had to change their commercial because they had cholesterol wrapped on the artery wall, and you know it starts in the artery wall, and they changed theirs to that. You know, some of these people know, and it's disgusting when you know the truth. You don't make a radical change, apologize, and then work to the wellness of people. That's what we need. Yes, I like that, Lion Man. I think that's you, Oversoul. Yep, that's you. I know it is. Let me see. I don't like when he takes them off like this. Comment removed. Who's that? You and I don't agree on eating meat. Well, you know what? This could the water full of love. I knew that was you. I knew that was you. No, I don't care if you want to have some meat. I don't care. In detoxing, though, you want to get away from it. I can tell you, because you won't detox well. That's a special time. I'm not downing people that eat meat at all. Someone else kills them and cooks them, okay. But I'm not downing you for that, really. And you're okay. I mean, I even tell my clients if they want a piece of fish or chicken once a week or so, okay. Especially when you're detoxifying at this level, it can rat you out. You can get so ratted out, you got to go cheat on something. But you think we have generations of this in the consciousness. So it's not like I don't understand this. I do understand this because I've just been doing this all my life. So I understand the ups and downs and the difficulties that different people have and different levels of consciousness have. So I understand all that. But we deal with so many critical people, and so I'm really geared to that high critical level. I always thought most of your other naturopaths, they can handle these easy cases. Unfortunately, they can't even do that. But we're just geared to these high critical levels. That's why I'm so strict. So you have to forgive me with that. But that's just the way I am. You know, we deal with the incurables. Today I was lucky. Well, I had one lady that was very serious. But, you know, today hasn't been too bad. But I tell you, we're just inundated with them, and other practitioners send us their clients, you know, scared to work with these cases. When I was in Lisbon, in Portugal, this top homeopath, of course, most of the top homeopaths and naturopaths have their own schools. And so he invited me over to his school, and he said, do you work with diabetes? And I said, you don't? And he was afraid of diabetes. I said, afraid of diabetes? Oh my God! So it shows you the help that we need in in educating practitioners and getting this medical consciousness in its right place. Everybody has a place, including medical doctors, but they have to learn it and know where it is, and then grow from that. because we're into regeneration, we're into genetic remembering, we're into rebuilding tissue. I don't know what everybody else is into. So I'm okay with that, man. Water quality, I don't think too much. Someone asked me, I remember a question about water, and there's a lot of water machines going around right now. Never over 8.5. I don't recommend you going over 8.5. Remember, the blood's only 7.4. You run the risk of alkalizing too much and getting alkalosis. So I do warn against that. People have been doing the 9.5 waters and not feeling too good. I don't know who told them to do 9.5, but that's way out of line. You got to be real careful there. There is a balance to health. Fruits and vegetables generally offer that balance, but again, it's how much hybrided they are. It depends the amount of nitrogen fertilizers to acidify the trees, and did we pick them ripe? And there's so many factors out there. But we do the best we can. That's all I can say. Do the best you can. Don't freak out, but keep that water pH down a little bit. And like I say, I wouldn't go over 8.5 myself. I think that's about cesium, and that's about as alkaline as you want to get. So drinking filtered water from a jug, well, I don't know, he's about 90% raw. That's pretty good. Yeah. Occasional grain flour product or something. Yeah, y'all do what you can. I mean, I don't fault anybody. I had to do baked potatoes for a while to get off of meat, so I'm an old farm boy. So I had to do baked potatoes, and I'd load them down with Willow Run butter, soybean butter. Didn't know any better at the time. A lot of kelp, and that was good. It replaced my meat. But then I got tired of feeling bloaty and full. I always like to feel light like a feather. When you get used to feeling light like a feather, you don't want to go back to feeling bloaty, heavy, and full. It's just, you don't want to go there. You want to always feel light. You don't want to ever feel your body. That's when you're too heavy. It's when you're feeling your body. Yeah, the fasting. This question was, could you perhaps speak on fasting as a means to clearing past traumas, such as traumas of the emotional body, etc.? There are a lot, Qigong practitioners, a lot of good stuff out there. You can't help when you detoxify, especially at these higher magnetic levels. You can't stop your karmic unwinding. And unfolding, especially you spiritual awakened ones. Those are more of you that are learning to be more in the present moment. That's when you're going to allow your past to run off. When you become desireless, you'll see me trapped. Sometimes I get angry, sometimes at things, but I drop it. In the moment, I'll enjoy the excitement of it, because this is a killing machine planet, and it's not death that gets me with other people. It's the suffering. It's like those poor bears. My God, I don't feel sorry for them. It's karma. So the problem is, when we see someone suffer in a wheelchair, I feel for them, but I know that it's karma. Everything's karma. So I know that soul did something to put themselves where they are. But I like to help people unwind their karma. That's why I'm here. So that's what I do, is help them. I help all souls to unwind their karma, physically, emotionally, mentally. And so all these little tags, but there's a lot of people out there helping with this. The people that write all the books on Be Here Now, all those God people are working together in their own ways. One person can't know it all, do it all. So everybody has their role to play in this scheme, and so does every one of you. That's what's so exciting, is that I know you and me are holding hands and growing together, and I know we're creating a big bond and a big power source here, because it's needed. It's like the people in Libya right now. They bonded together and then they've won basically. And the same thing needs to happen in Syria. Those poor souls are getting slaughtered. That guy needs to be, that soul needs to go spend a little time in a different prison for a while and learn what you don't do with that. But it's just it's all God. And it's all the maturing of consciousness or the drama within the worlds of matter, energy, space, and time. You have to always be outside of that to be free of that. And as Buddha said, the desireless state. Quit desiring everything and wanting everything. Just live in the moment and let everything manifest and happen, especially when you're dealing with some of the trauma from wars and things like this. You have to get to your happy place. And that happy place needs to be a place where you and the Supreme Being merge, because then it isn't an isolation, it's an expansion. Now, real important. Now, is it possible to detox on a high-fat, raw, vegan diet? Now, I was asked that before. I don't think I probably got to that. I don't think you can detoxify on high fats. Now, you said you can't handle the blood sugar swings and low energy that a high-fruit diet brings. Well, you know what this is showing me? This is showing me you have real weak adrenal glands. You need to eat more fruit more often. If you need to enter some vegetables, okay. Definitely take a glandular or a adrenal herbal formula. Bring up your adrenal glands, because remember, even though you have these symptoms, you want to work on the problems behind the symptoms simultaneously as you're doing the diet. I don't believe in today's world diet alone is going to be a very fast process for us. That's why I love the herbs. And the comments you see from people that have started these herbs can feel the difference. Yeah, they're a bit strong, but so if I go out and I go out for making strong herbal formulas, I'll be happy, because now that'll set the precedence for the future, and then the people will get stronger. I like to set the bar high, and then, let's keep on going. So, use herbs to help balance you out there. Don't use the foods, because then you'll stop detoxifying. High fats and stuff like this. And you're asking me about a diet based on low protein plant fats like coconuts. Yeah, you can do those. Definitely. Coconuts, avocados, olives. I addressed this before, not the macadamia nuts. You won't detoxify fast if you do that. Which is okay. It's okay. Could somebody help me out? Can't understand a word at 1320. Is that me? All right. Any orange or yellow in the eye could be sulfur. S-U-L-F-U-R. Sulfur. Like sulfur springs, the smell of sulfur that's really stinky like a rotten egg. Sulfur. That type of sulfur, the mineral. It's a gas, actually. It's an acid gas that stinks like rotten eggs. And it makes you feel like rotten eggs. So any orange or yellow in the eye would be sulfur. Yeah. Yeah, whoever made that comment, good job. Let me see. Yeah, every time you sleep, this is a comment, every time you sleep you are always OBEing. Yeah, but you know what? We have so much cooked to us between the subconscious mind and all that soul keeps tied to looking at these things. But a good OBE is extremely lucid and free of drama, and it breeds more observation, a good OBE. So you're more observing the territory or the place or the or wherever you are. Especially if you're working with masters that bring you to these cities and go to these different lectures. There's all kinds of things going on at all levels in all these heavens that you can experience and do. But in a more conscious way, the more conscious the OBE, the better the OBE. Instead of a dreamlike state, it's more real, like what you are now. A good OBE makes you feel more real than here. When you're fully conscious in another plane, and the higher, closer to God you get in these heavens, the more real it is. And then the physical world doesn't feel real anymore. It's actually less real. You're more real in the world you have your consciousness fixed in. So it's a trip. It's a fun trip. So anyone that's near death, if you feel you can't save your body, who cares? You're going on a journey. You're going to have more fun. Learn spirituality. Learn you. Learn out of body travels. Have fun. That's the trip, man. I can't wait to leave my body here. What is this? You know. So we gotta get strong in who we are. These are just bodies. They come and go anyway. But if you want to keep them here, you got to learn the roadmap of health. You got to learn the rules of the game. And that's hopefully what I can share with you is what I know of the rules of the game with these videos. So good comments. You guys are good. I'd like to nominate Brandon Cintron for Junior Dr. Morris. All right, Brandon, you're named and duly sworn in. He's a good guy, isn't he? Yeah, I still say, Brandon, you look like David Blaine. Now, I remember when he reached through this plate glass window and grabbed this lady's watch. That was pretty cool. I have another friend who has the magic shop at Universal, and he's really good. He's like a David Blaine. And he became a client of mine when I first met him, and I mean, he stunned our whole office. I mean, this guy's good. And he's gotten really into health. This guy's really good. Magic Man. You got feelings for my mustache? You know, I'm going to have to get on your thing there. I'm going to have to get on your site that you're talking here and see what you guys are coming up with. Let's see, Dr. Morris, I'm a Christian that uses the King James Bible. But if you want to consider evolution of mankind, it's possible that eating cooked food helped to evolve the human brain. Well, honey, the human brain right now is not very expanded. I can tell you right now, we haven't expanded the human consciousness very far at all. That's the difference between raw foods. You go on raw foods and your intellect can go up as much as 40%. Look at the children that are raw food children. College courses and freshmen in high school. I mean, these guys are unreal. So if you want expansion of the human brain, it sure ain't cooked. So I think I get what you're saying, that we've suppressed our spiritual growth by eating cooked foods. I agree with you. Yeah, dead animals does not expand the human brain. I think this is a huge myth. I mean, if you look at the animals that are non-meat eaters, they're the smartest. Look at the primates. They are considered the smartest animals on the planet, next to the Homo sapien. They can play with tools. I mean, just look at that movie, the Rise of the Planet of the... Oh, no, that was man-made. But I'm just saying, you look at the primates. These guys are really intelligent. Well, why shouldn't they be? All things have consciousness. It's just levels of maturity of consciousness. It deals with how much self-awareness that each level of consciousness has. So you have to say that the primates are the most self-aware of all of them, besides the Homo sapien, which is supposed to be much more self-aware. But you look at the animals, these guys are so smart. And the smartest ones are the non-meat eaters. The omnivores and the carnivores, they're not the smartest, unfortunately. I mean, just do the search on yourself. What all you have to do is watch Discovery Channel, Animal Planet. I believe in microevolution, and I know of David Wilcock, and I think he's a weirdo. There is a lot of weirdos out there. I tell you, there's the cook guy and everything else. But, you know, there's a lot of things going on at all different levels, and so always guard yourself against false knowledge and stuff, but at the same time, always be open to things that are greater than what we've brainwashed to believe in. Man rides with a lot of fear here. Even Ronald Reagan looked to the heavens when he thought about Star Wars. Now, why did he do that? You know why he did that, right? Amen to acids and dentistry. Oh, yeah, definitely. Acids and dentistry. Hello. Minnesota School of Dentistry, I take my hat off to you. You guys are really getting into acids, and I love that. pH and tested my slide pH. I saw how acidic I was. I understood immediately why I had always said, yeah, good guy. You guys are good. I love you all. So whatever you say about me, it's okay. You like my analogies? I appreciate that thought. I try, you know, because I've been lecturing most of my life, either spirituality or health, and so, you know, I try As my Alzheimer's sets in, I don't know, but I do try to come up with them. I've always thought, because I used to teach children a lot, and if I can get children to relate, then it helps them a lot, So let's see, Dr. Morse. I wish you would have come in earlier today. I wasn't able to do my phone appointment at the proper time, which I was booked many months ago. Now I have to wait 3 more months. No, I think they asked me about you. I will definitely check on this because we have cancellations and stuff. I'll make sure that you were taken care of there. Are you the one? I did move someone till this afternoon or next week that called from Australia, and she called. Thought her appointment was today, but anyway, I don't know how to get a hold of you here, but I will work on this. I'll find out if I can find out who you are and just straighten that out, because I don't want you to wait 3 more months, honey. So just hang on there. If I can find out who you are, call the office. Call the office and tell Jennifer, and talk to Jennifer, and tell her that I've said on YouTube that what's going on here and how can they fit you in. Okay, we'll get you in. Okay. Yeah, let's see, this person, but I think certain people are designed to metabolize and utilize protein and meat in moderation. Yeah, I mean, you are. But in detoxification, you can't do it. And you know what's funny? If you have bad kidneys, if you come off of protein, you can repair them. I can take someone in pain off of protein and their pain will start going away 10 times faster, put them back on protein and the pain come roaring back. So I've shown this time and time and time again. Not saying that little meat hurts anybody, but separate what you would do normally with regeneration and detoxification. And that's what I'm saying here. Separate that time. Then if you want a little meat, I don't care. I really don't. But detoxification, that's when you want to really get, because I'm good at that. And I know what that takes. I've had too many years of using proteins, not using proteins, and everything over the word. I'm a biochemist, even though we all disagree. So I've learned a lot of things that I think I have, and I'll share them with you, and then try them on your own self. If you're in pain and you go on a detox, get away from protein, and then in a 2 or 3 weeks, put yourself back on protein, feel the difference. I showed a medical doctor friend of mine that ran a hospital in San Diego. I showed him just what protein, and I think I talked about him on a video, just what protein does when you're in severe kidney pain. And so he'll never forget that. So I don't care. Stones are not just a product of acidosis. They're a product of having your electrolytes and minerals in body really out of whack. Well, how do you get your minerals out of whack? Okay? Your electrolytes and minerals in your body really out of whack. Almost all stones are made up of calcium deposits. Calcium. Or calcium oxalates, right? Now calcium, what is calcium in the body? That's structural, right? Yeah. But also, what is calcium used for? It's the body's second main acid. So you're going back to acids again. What happens to calcium in an acid solution? Ionizes, becomes a rock. That's why you combine phosphorus with calcium, and now what do you have? Bone matrix. So you need that acid to create a calcification. But, and that's how you can put calcium back into solution, is bringing in that. But when you're out of balance in the electrolytes, how do you get back in balance? Do you use more electrolytes? But when you do that, you're going to create antagonistic chemistry, so you can't find a chemical homeostasis through another chemist's mind. You can only find a chemical homeostasis, one, when you consume the foods that are in a chemical homeostasis, but also, what if the body's out of chemical homeostasis? How do you bring it back into one? You can't use other chemicals. That's the intellectualism that will get you absolutely nowhere. Biochemists from the day one has had this idea. Kerry Reeves, we talked about him. All these different biochemists, and let me tell you, I've done those. Can't do it, because then you create more antagonistic chemistry. And you're playing like this. And I have thousands of people come to me that tried that. Thousands from naturopaths and all these people. And they still come in here full of their cancers. Why? Wrong way of thinking. Can't do it. You have to go back to the whole foods. You have to go back to chemical in a homeostasis in the first place. Move those lamps. Understand that system, and your body will find its own homeostasis. Yes, it depends on your consciousness. Yes, it depends on your adrenal glands. Remember, don't forget adrenal glands where most of your minerals are utilized. Don't forget your parathyroid where calcium is utilized. And what does your body do with calcium? It uses it as an antacid. So you have to be careful here. And what pushes out calcium in the body? Phosphorus. Now let me see. What is meat predominantly? Phosphorus. Just saying. Just saying. So you have to be careful what foods, because you'll push your calcium out. This is real important. Just like any high phosphorus food leaches calcium out of the body. But then if you're taking a lot of magnesium, you'll pull it out too. You can't play that game. I tried it. I've tried it. And I always thought I had a halfway decent mind. This person wants to become more educated about nutrition and health and was looking into becoming a dietitian. Oh, well, I don't know about that. I mean, because you're going to learn everything wrong. Most of these dietetic courses are around the American Dietetics Association and around the American Medical Association's insane thinking about what they think health is. I just talked to a lady. They put her on, this endocrinologist put her on all protein. Boy, did she get sick. You know, I mean, this, you can't, I mean, you got to learn naturopathy and that sort of thing. Get your A&P, get a little biochemistry going on, a little science going on. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. But become your own smart health person. If you go into that, unfortunately, get an herbal degree and start working with that. Learn what we're saying here, and you'll outcure any dietitian on the planet. I've had nothing but and you'll get. And you're right. You get so much misinformation that you'll be confused, and then you won't help anybody, and it'll throw you into confusion. You must learn the truth first. Then you can enter a dietetic class and go, well, what about this? What about that? I mean, you can turn a dietitian on their head, because these guys don't know the first thing about health. Particularly a lot of these workout gurus and stuff. Boy, do they hurt a lot of people. Well, I only got 5 more minutes. Cyber hugs. Wait a minute. Cyber hugs back, sweetheart, and cyber hugs to all of you guys. I love you, and yes, I do get a little radical once in a while. I'm getting comfortable with you guys, so I'm going to get, if you haven't noticed, I'm bringing you along a line here. I'm educating, and I'm going to keep getting more to the point with you guys and more to the point. I know you new people coming on, you might see me a little bit. I'm bringing our class of YouTube on down a line here because I want you all to become master healers. And you'll see what I'm saying by working on yourself and working on your friends and taking on clients. I'm going to show you, and we'll all sit around one day on some heaven far, far away and laugh at all these cases that we work through, because they're a joy and they're also a terror. So, cyber hugs to you all, guys. Thank you all for all this. Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Okay. All right. Let me see where our time is. Boy, I like it when Chris pulls these off in a different way. I took them all home. He pulled them off this morning, and I took them home. I was going to make some comments, but I had an hour here, so I really wanted to touch some of these. Asthma, we talked about that. Yeah, you asked me about the grapes and the seeds. You know, I don't like to eat the seeds. I know some people do. If you're juicing, I love to juice the seeds. Proanthocyanidins, okay, come on, baby. But Juice the seeds. I don't like to eat seeds, but I love watermelons with seeds, but I don't eat the seeds. If you juice them, you can juice the seeds. We were having this discussion with apple seeds and cyanide. This is organic, right? I don't know. Cyanide. But yeah, go ahead and juice them when you juice, but I particularly don't like seeds like that. I don't. Some people chew them right down. So whatever you want to do. You asked me about rebounding trampoline. Remember, there's a difference between moving lymph and a closed door. You can move lymph when the door is open, but you can't move lymph when the door is closed. If you study physiology, when you're in activity, your adrenal glands, as I said before, increases epinephrine and norepinephrine, which actually shuts down elimination. When you're relaxing, your dopamines and your acetylcholines go up, which improves elimination, but your epinephrine and your norepinephrine go down. That's your adrenalines. So you can't have it both ways. So relaxing is far better in terms of moving lymph. But that's why you run and then you relax. Because believe it or not, that relaxing then brings in more of the alkaline mix, brings in more of the neurotransmitters that opens up urination and stooling. So you're better off relaxing sometimes, particularly if you're not seeing sediment in your urine. Remember, we want to see sediment. We want to see snowflakes in our urine. We want to see a lot of sediment. If your urine is clear, no matter what color it is, then exercise you can feel worse. And we have this a lot of times in here. These people that are exercising, these pro athletes, and even people, just common people that are exercising, feel a lot worse when they exercise because they're not moving their acids out that they're creating. It creates a lot of lactic acid. Got to be able to remove that lactic acid or that acid's going to hurt you. And the door is your kidneys, and the adrenals control that door. And of course, I think the pituitary as well. I mean, that's getting a stretch out there, but so. Moderate until you're filtering. If you're filtering from the kidneys, then I don't care. Pound the pavement, but make sure your urine is full of sediment. My grandfather has Alzheimer's, so we did bring this up here, and what you have to do with Alzheimer's, dementia, those type of things, but you would do those for even brain cancer or brain tumors or anything like that as well. Treat the body simply as a bunch of cells and two major fluids, and look at what side of chemistry breaks down tissue, and know that that's what you're after. But then you can use herbs to enhance brain cells, enhance oxygenation of brain tissue, enhance tissue itself or cells themselves. So that's where the herbs are so great. Oh, there's so many good herbs out there. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, so this person has eczema on the nose, like a rosacea, scalp, eyebrows. Also have tonsillitis, irregular heartbeat. Whoa! Heartbeat. I have been raw for a while. Now I've been on just melons, berries, and grapes for about 2 weeks, and a green drink at night. Should I get a kidney and colon product? Yes, yes, yes. I'm a young kid. Young kid, you're pretty smart. You're right on. All this redness, all this flaky skin, that's your lymph system. Remember, your skin is your third kidney. And tonsillitis, your tonsils are swollen, you're not moving your lymph system well. You want to work on your kidneys, your adrenal glands, your colon, and your lymph system. You want to go after those. You want to take some herbs for the lymph system. You want to take herbs for the adrenal glands, herbs to clean off your bowels, and herbs to get for your kidneys. That's a good focus for you. And then stay with this high raw like this, and these high fruits and melons, and you'll get this cleared up. You can use hot and cold compresses, scrub the skin, but internally, this is the internal issue, lymphatic issue here, and it's just coming out your skin. You want to fix this now. If you're a young person, you want to fix this now before you get older, because then you can be popping skin cancers, and then you're all up in the head here. They'll want to cut your tonsils out. Then you're in line for brain tumors, brain cancer. The list is long. So you want to take care of this now. Smart kid for a young kid. If you're a young person, smart young person. Okay. Marshmallows. Wait a minute. I like roasted. Oh, roasted. I like marshmallows. Oh wait, I've got to run. I hate that. Yeah, they were originally made from the marshmallow plant, huh? I know. Well, I'd like to see what all you guys are commenting about. But I will read more into this tonight and maybe try to finish this up tomorrow. But thank you so much. Thank you again. I appreciate you all. And whether you're Christian, whether you're Buddhist, who cares? We're all souls. We're all here. I'm glad a lot of you have open minds because, you know, where I'm at, I just got to speak what I'm at, what I see, my experiences. That's what this YouTube is to share. And hopefully, if I have something to offer for you, that you'll take that and grow with it. And I also learn from you guys. So this is a two-way street. I'm always open. I learn the most from my clients and from you guys. That's been the thrill of my life, is my knowledge has come from my clients. And I'll never forget that. So thank you so much. You have a lovely evening, and tomorrow I try to finish these questions up for you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.